Now graphs. First, let's look at our axis. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. This is positive. This is negative. This is positive. This is negative. And this is the origin. Now, let us start with a very basic graph y equals x. It is like this. We can always draw graphs by taking some points, like when x is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 2, x is minus 1, y is minus 1. So we can always take points 1, 1, 2, 2, minus 1, minus 1, and we can draw a graph. This equals y equals x. Now, what we will do is, from y equals x, we will try and we will make other graphs. For example, if we have to make y equals x minus 1, y equals x plus 3, y plus 2 equals x, which is actually same as y equals x minus 2. So, suppose you have to draw 3 graphs. Now, y equals x minus 1. We know that this is y equals x, 45 degree line. Now, what is happening is, we are subtracting 1 from x. It is like y equals x minus 1. So basically what we will do is, we will shift the origin. So suppose the origin was at 1, 0. Then it would have been like y equals x only. So whenever we change, whenever we add something in x, accordingly we shift the graph. So this graph will pass through 1, 0. So when we have something of the form y equals x, and we say y equals x minus c, then the graph shifts towards the right by c units. If we have x plus c, then the graph shifts towards the left by 3 units. So if this is y equals x, then the graph will shift towards the left by 3 units. So if this is y equals x, this was y equals x minus 1, this is y equals x, this is y equals x plus 3. Similarly, y plus 2 equals x, what it will be? This is the same as y equals x minus 2. So we can say this is y equals x, and we will shift it towards the right by 2 units. So this is y equals x minus 2. Let's take some other example. If we have y equals x squared, y equals x squared. Y equals x square is this, like a U shape. Now, if we have y equals x minus 2 whole square, what we are doing is we are replacing x by x minus c. Therefore, this graph will shift to the right by 2 units. So, 2 units, and it will shift to the right like this. If you have y equals x plus 2 whole square, then it will shift to the left by 2 units. Now what if we have something like y equals x square plus 2 or y equals x square minus 3, something like this. So here we are not doing any change in x, but we are adding something to y. So if y equals x square is this, then y equals x square plus 2, it will shift upwards by 2 units. So it will be like this. What we are doing is we are adding 2 to all the values of y that we got when it was y equals x square. So just add 2 to everything. Just add 2 to everything, it shifts upwards. Y equals x square minus 3. Y equals x square minus 3. Shift the graph down by 3 units. So it will be like this. So this is y equals x square minus 3. So what do we see is, when we have y equals x square and we do x minus c whole square, then the graph shifts to the right by c units. If it is x plus c whole square, then the graph shifts to the left by c units. If it is y equals x square plus c, it shifts upwards by c units, and if it is x square minus c, it shifts down by c units. So this is about shifting the graphs. Now let's look at some other graphs. Now, graphs of, we know that the graph of x square is like this. This is y equals x square. It passes through the origin 0, 0. It passes through 1, 1. It passes through 1, 1. And it passes through minus 1, 1. So we know that this is the graph of y equals x square. Now, if you have to draw the graph of y equals x to the power 4, how will the graph look like? Now, if x is greater than 1, x to the power 4 is greater than x square, therefore the graph of y equals x to the power 4 will lie entirely above the graph of y equals x square. So it will be something like this. And x equals 1, this is 1, this is 1, therefore they will touch each other at point 1. Now what will be the shape of the graph between 0 and 1? Now between 0 and 1 we have a fraction. And we know that a fraction multiplied by a fraction becomes smaller. So suppose you have a fraction like half. If it is multiplied by half again, it becomes 1 by 4. Now if you have half multiplied by half, then again multiplied by a fraction, again multiplied by a fraction, it will clearly become smaller than this. And as a result, x to the power 4 will lie below x square between 0 and 1. So it will be like this. And obviously at x equals 0, both are 0, so they will touch each other. So this is y equals x to the power 4. Same logic will apply for negative x. So it will be below and then it will go on. So this is y equals x to the power 4, this was y equals x square. Similarly, if you have to draw y equals x to the power 6, it will be above x to the power 4, below x to the power 4, below x to the power 4 and then above x to the power 4. This is y equals x to the power 6. What we are doing is now we are taking even powers of x's here. We will take odd also. Now, odd powers, y equals x cubed. This is y equals x cubed, passing through the origin. Now we have to draw y equals x to the power 5. So, this is 1, this is minus 1. Same reason will apply. For greater than 1, x to the power 5 will be above this. For fraction, it will be below this. Again, it will be below this, and after minus 1, it will be above this. Basically like this. So, this is the graph of y equals x to the power 5. What is happening here is the negative sign, because of the negative sign it is coming. The absolute value is less, but because of the negative sign, it is above this. And here it is below this, because of the negative sign. The absolute value is less here and the absolute value is more here. So this is y equals x to the power 5. Y equals x to the power 7, like this, then below, and then this is y equals x to the power 7. So we saw the graphs of even powers and the odd powers. Now here the powers we have taken it to be integer, but what if the powers are not integers? For example, we have to draw y equals x to the power half, or y equals x to the power 1 by 3 and so on. This is root x. Now y equals root x. What is the domain? X is greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, we will have nothing in this region because x cannot be negative. So we will have nothing in this region. Just square them, y square equals x. So y equals x square is like this. So x equals y square is like this. And we are taking y to be positive here. Therefore we won't take this. Therefore we get y equals x to the power half is this. When x is 1, y is 1. So it will pass through 1, 1. Same logic, everything applies same. What will be x to the power 1 by 3? For x greater than 1, x to the power 1 by 3 will be below. This is y equals x to the power 1 by 3, and it will be like this. X to the power 1 by 5, it will be like this, and then this. So this is when the power is not an integer. Now let us look at some other graphs. we can see the shifts in this graph also. Like if we have y equals x to the power half and we got like this. If we have y equals x plus 1 to the power half, then what is the domain? Domain is x greater than minus 1. And since we have done plus c, so it will shift towards the left by 1 units, so minus 1, and the graph will shift towards the left by 1 units. So it will be from the graph will go like this. The thing is, x is greater than minus 1, so we won't have any portion of the graph in this region. If we do like y to the power, y equals x to the power half plus 1, then this is y equals x to the power half. We are adding 1, so it will shift up by 1. So this is again shifting of the graph. Now, if you have to draw y equals mod x equals mod y, and so on. Module is something. Everybody knows y equals mod x is like this. But why it is like this? First, let us look at y equals mod x. What can x be? The domain is entire set, in the entire real number, x can be anything, but y will be positive, hence we will have no portion of the graph here, because y will always be positive. So what does this mean? This means either y equals x or y equals minus x. So y equals x, this is for x greater than 0, this is for x less than 0, equal to 0. So this is y equals x, this is y equals minus x. We say that no portion of the graph should be here. So we got y equals mod x like this. But there is a better way to look at it. What we do is, we draw y equals x. What if the mod was not here? The graph would have looked like this, y equals x. Now, when we take mod of x, whichever portion of the graph is below the x-axis, we take the reflection of it along the x-axis upwards. So what will be the reflection of this along the x-axis? It will be this. Hence, y equals mod x is this. Suppose we had y equals mod of x plus 2. What is y equals x plus 2? This is y equals x. X plus 2 we are doing plus c, so it will shift leftwards by 2 units. This is y equals x plus 2. And we take the modulus, we take the reflection of this. This is minus 2. We take the reflection of this along the x-axis, we get this. So what is the graph of y equals mod x plus 2? It is this. X equals mod y. Again we start with y equals x. Now when we put a mod in y, what we do is whatever portion of the graph is towards the left, we take a reflection of that along the y-axis. So what will be the reflection of this along the y-axis? It will be this. So the graph of x equals mod y is this. So it's basically taking reflection along the axis. For better understanding, suppose we take something like mod of x plus mod of y equals 1. Suppose you have to draw the graph of this. So what we'll do is just remove the mod. Then it becomes x plus y equals 1. This is x plus y equals 1. This is x plus y equals 1. When we put mod in x and mod in y, we'll take reflection along x-axis and reflection along y-axis both. So it will be like this, and then the reflection along x-axis. So it will be like this. Basically it has 4 parts: x plus y equals 1, minus x plus y equals 1, x plus minus y equals 1, and minus x minus y equals 1. We see that this is x plus y equals 1, and all 5 of them will come, all 4 of them will come here. So basically it's taking about reflection. When I told y equals mod x, It can also be thought of in this way. We drew this. Y cannot be negative, so we exclude this portion, we remove this portion, and then we take a reflection of this along the x-axis and y-axis. So we got this. Or we can not exclude this and take the reflection of this along the x-axis. We can do any of the two. So that is what we get. Now some general graphs like exponential graphs, logarithmic graphs. Y equals e to the power x. When x is 0, y is 1, so it will pass through this point. When x is minus infinity, it becomes 1 by e to the power infinity, and then it tends to 0. Limit x tends to minus infinity, e to the power x is 0, tending to 0. So it will be like this and this. Later on, when we do increasing, decreasing function, we can show that it is always an increasing function, and therefore we can show this shape to be concave or convex. We will study all that later. So basically, y equals e to the power x is like this. Y equals log x. What is the domain of this? The domain of this is x greater than 0. So we won't have a graph towards the left. So when x is 1, y is 0. So it will pass through this point, and we get log x to be like this. Suppose this is the line y equals x. We see that they are the mirror images of each other. Now when do we say they are the mirror images of each other? This is y equals e to the power x. Take log on both sides. X log e. We got x equals log y. And then replace x by y and y by x. We get y equals log x. So the mirror image of y equals e to the power x about y equals x is y equals log x. So and from the graph also we see that they are the mirror images. So suppose you are given any function and you have to find the mirror image of that. What you have to do is replace x by y and y by x, and whatever you get, that will be the mirror image of the function. So it's very easy to remember y equals e to the power x, and the mirror image about y equals x is y equals log x. So this is the exponential function, this is the logarithmic function. Again, here also we can do shifts. For example, if you have to draw y equals e to the power x, this is y equals e to the power x, you have to do y equals e to the power x minus 1. So what we are doing is x minus c. So when we do x minus c, the graph shifts towards the left by 1 unit. So it will pass through. Sorry, x minus c will shift towards the right. Had it been x plus c, then it would have shifted to the left by c units. X minus c will shift to the right by c units. So it will pass through 1, comma 1, and it will be like this. Because when x is 1, y is e to the power 0, which is 1. So it will get something like this. Y equals e to the power x minus 1. Had it been e to the power x plus 1, we would have got like this. Y equals e to the power x plus 1, we are adding 1 to y. So this is y equals e to the power x, it will shift up by 1 unit. So accordingly you can shift the graph. Here also you can shift the graph. Here we have to be careful. If we do y equals log x plus 1 in brackets, so we are adding x to 1. So what will be the domain? Domain will be x greater than minus 1. So we will have graph from here, and where x is 0, y is 0. So it becomes like this. So that is y equals log of x plus 1. So that is with the graphs.